Xin chào and welcome back to another vlog. I'm Shane and I'm with a bit. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the most common mistakes that are made by examinees in their IELTS exam. Number one is silence. So different cultures have different mentalities and thought processes on silence after a question. In the English language, native speakers expect a response very quickly to the answer. So waiting just like 1 or 2 seconds to answer a question is fine, but if you're rolling on to 5 seconds without even giving any response, you can use a filler statement like, that's a good question, let me think about that. Or, I just need 1 moment to think about this. And what that does is it lets the native speaker know that you've heard their question. You just need a moment to prepare your answer for them. So, going on to point number 2. One of the biggest problems is memorized answers. When a student learns answers in a memorized way, when they talk these sentences, they come out in a written form rather than a natural form with good tone and intonation. So one thing examiners are looking for is making sure that people can talk naturally and they're not just remembering words from their brain, that they're actually formulating sentences.
Okay, last question. Think very carefully about this, okay?
Okay.
Who's your favourite, Dad or
Mum.
Okay, you feeling better? Repeat after me. Dad. 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 Who's your favourite?
Mum.
And anyways, any questions that you memorize the answer to might not even come up in your exam. So if you're not already in the practice of coming out with natural responses and natural answers, you're going to be pretty stuck.
I don't know, what do you want to do today?
Point number 3 is my favorite. When somebody does this, it really shows me that they are fluent and they understand English. And that is when they remember to paraphrase a question. So many times we hear a question in English and we just repeat the question by changing a few words to answer. So one thing IELTS examiners are looking out for is for students who can vary their responses, who can paraphrase. If you can do all these things, you're on a fast track to success. Tip number 4, it's the biggest sin of all. It's answering the wrong question. You're gonna lose marks if you fail to answer the question that's asked and you talk about something else. It's very important to take a moment to make sure you fully understand the question. Now, I know I said earlier that you don't want to wait too long in between answering your questions, but when you're thinking about properly understanding the question, you can also still go back and use your filler statements. So you can say things, let me think about that for a second, as you truly think about the question and understand what's being asked. And then that way you can ensure that you give a relevant answer and that you actually answer what the examiner is asking, because that shows that you can have a proper conversation with a native speaker. We're moving down the list pretty quick. We're on point number 5 already. And this is a great tip. It's saying too much or saying too little. If you say too little, sometimes you really miss the opportunity to show off your English and show off how much you actually know. And sometimes if you say too much, you run the risk of not sounding coherent and mixing up your words and sentences. In part 1 of your IELTS exam, there's clear instruction about how long they want you to talk for. In part 2 of the exam, you should be aiming to say about 3 to 6 sentences. The best thing I can say about saying too little to a question is not doing your best to answer the question correctly, but doing the best to give your opinion and talk about your understanding of the question, to show off your coherency and your vocabulary and your speech to your examiner, to ensure that you get top marks in your IELTS exam. Number 6 on the list is something that gets nearly every non-native speaker learning English, and that is poor pronunciation.
So, my name is Tham. I'm Vietnamese. I keep practicing English gravely. I keep all
there is a really good reason why almost 25% of your IELTS exam is down to pronunciation alone. If you can't pronounce your words, people can't understand you. And if people can't understand you, you can't have a conversation with them. One thing I always tell all my students is, it's better to say something 100% correctly, slowly. Slow and correct will allow you to have a conversation with people. Fast and incorrect will leave people unable to talk with you. So remember, slow and 100% perfect pronunciation is always better than fast and 95% pronunciation. So our last and final tip is number 7, and that is flat intonation. This is the hardest thing for a non-native speaker to get down. So it's very important when speaking in English that we remember to make the most of our intonation, to vary our speech, to speak slow, to speak fast, to change the pitch from high to low. And what this does is it allows our listener to keep focus and to really be engaged in the conversation with us. It is a true sign of somebody who is fluent in English. So guys, that is the end of this vlog. The 7 most common mistakes made in IELTS exams. Don't worry, we all make mistakes. We make mistakes and we get better. So you can use these tips to prepare you for your future exam. So everybody, if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button below. Leave us a comment in the section below and let us know what you'd like to see in our upcoming videos and what topics you'd like us to cover. And of course, let's help everybody learn English, and please share so your friends and family can get the benefit of this video as well. I'll see you soon. Thanks. Tham,